Well, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Blue Table Talk. I'm your host, Deborah Jones. And tonight I have someone very interesting for you to listen to and ask questions to him because we're talking about employment that's, there are a lot of people out there that are unemployed and that are very knowledgeable about a lot of stuff. But we're gonna talk about security right now. And so tonight I have Harrison James Coney, and he is originally from Beaumont, Texas. Can you believe this? He is a Beaumonter. So by that being said, hats off to Reverend Coney. Because Reverend Coney, if everybody in Beaumont know Reverend Coney and Magnolia, this is his grandson. So let me introduce you, Harrison Coney. Hi, Harrison. How you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing great.
I met him as James. So what, Harrison or James?
You can call me James. Most people in Beaumont will remember me as James. I didn't use Harrison as much as I do today.
Oh, okay, cool. So if you are on on the podcast right now, what I need you to do is go ahead and share. Let them know that James Coney is on. James is a graduate of Heber High School, which is not my fault, but he did it anyway.
Have some pride.
But he is a graduate of Heber High School. And what year did you graduate from Heber?
In 1980.
Oh, in 1980. So there are some people. I have a lot of friends out of 1980 that are your classmates, and I had shared them with you when I saw you in the Jamaica when we were in Jamaica. So yeah. So anyway, we're gonna talk to James about some opportunities in a career opportunity. So right now, go ahead and share your button, and sharing is caring. And James, kind of introduce yourself to the public because a lot of us don't know you. Hey, Maxine, a lot of them do not know you, and they want to know a little bit about what's going on.
Okay. Well, I'm Harrison James Coney. Most people in Beaumont know me as James Coney. I graduated from Heber High School in the class of 1980, Panther Pride. I'm a security expert. I'm the information security officer for the company I work for. We work on federal, state, and civilian projects. There's a lot of veterans out there. And if you know about veterans who go to the VA and can't get an appointment at the VA and they go out into the community to see a community doctor, that's one of the programs that the company that I work for, we actually wrote that program. And we manage that program for the Veteran Administration so that it's called community referrals, where the veteran can go out. So I'm responsible for the security around that to protect the PHI, the health information, and the personal information for the individuals. That's what I do for Cognosante at a very high level. I have a team that work under me. I have a few managers and a team below them that manage the security, and I just give them a vision and they go out and institute it. So that's what I do for Cognosante today.
So what is your position over there at Cognosante?
I'm the information security, privacy and security officer for the company. Mm-hmm. I'm responsible for all security, all security across the board. We have contracts with the federal government, as I said, with the Army, with Department of Defense, with HUD, with CMS, Medicare, Medicaid, all the government agencies that we have contracts with. I'm responsible for the security of the information that my company handles for those agencies. For the difference, we have contracts with most states. We have a new project contract with the state of Texas we'll be working on where we're helping people after the pandemic roll over from the Medicaid into the Affordable Care Act, or what most people know as Obamacare. Right. We're going to have enrollers out on the street helping seniors or people that don't have access to computers. We're going to be helping them to get enrolled in Obamacare. So that's what I do. We have secured contracts where you have to have a top secret or secret clearance in order to work on them. A lot of people heard of the word SCIF. We have SCIFs where only the highest level of security documents can be managed. All of that falls under my responsibility.
Okay, so look, guys, Terry and Maxine, how you guys doing tonight? Thanks for joining Blue Table Talk. I want you guys and the rest of you guys that are on my phone and not on the comment page, please come over to the comment page and say hello to Harrison Coney. He is a Beaumonter, and he's his company works with the federal government and all kinds of security. So let's go ahead and he's going to tell us something about some job opportunities today as we get into the program. So go ahead and hit your share button, because sharing that, as we all know, sharing is caring. And a lot of people that we know out there are unemployed or need another job, really, and that can make a little bit more money. So that's why James is here tonight, to help us to get our feet wet. So put it like that. So what makes a person qualified to work for such a prestigious company like your company?
Well, we're an equal opportunity employee, the company I work for. And I'm fortunate enough to work for, she's a minority woman that owned the company. As large as we are, single owner is a woman, and she's a minority. Okay. And she believes in giving back. So what qualifies you is you just have to have the desire, and for most positions, the education, and that will get you through the door. Then you have to put your head down and just work and learn and produce, and then you have an opportunity with the company. Yes.
So it doesn't deal strictly with the federal government.
No, it does not deal strictly with the federal government. We have state contracts, we have civilian contracts, we have contracts with some of the large, I can't list them, but there's large companies out there that we actually provide a professional service for. So you can work on a federal contract, you can work on a state contract, you may even end up on an Army base in Korea. So.
Okay, so I know you talked about this when we met, and so tell me a little bit about what's the best part of working in security.
For me, it's something different every day. What piqued my interest, and you and I didn't go into this when we met. What piqued my interest is back in the early 90s, before identity theft was a big thing. Someone had got my identity, and I was sitting there wondering, what's going on here? My bank account is being empty. My credit is being, and I started digging into it. And as I dug into it, I found it to be interesting, finding ways to stop that from happening to other people. So I was working in telecom, and I worked for MCI. A lot of you know who MCI was. I left that industry to go into the industry of security for healthcare, and that's what piqued my interest. But when you get into it, every day you come to work, it's something different. There's never a dull moment. You never know what's going on. There's always just like you're trying to protect the environment, there's hackers out there trying to break into the environment, and you're constantly trying to put up roadblocks or mitigating controls or things to stop them from being able to get into your environment and steal data. So that's what makes it interesting for me.
So a question is, does your company have an office here in Beaumont?
The good thing about the company I work for, you don't have to be in an area where there's an office. We do not have an office in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
I live in Dallas, Texas, and have worked for the company for over 8 years. And I have an office in corporate back in McLean, Virginia. But I go to, since the pandemic, I think I've been there once. Before that, I went to it maybe 2 or 3 times in the 8 years I've been working for the company. Most of our employees work remote. So you could be anywhere in the country that you want to be.
So you can work at home?
Yeah, I work from home every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Awesome. I'm trying to give me a home job.
Well, we have a lot of them. When the pandemic happened, we didn't have the stress of trying to get people. Our stress was just making sure that we had the bandwidth for people to get to the service to do their job. But
Right.
because we set up to work remotely, people were just able to go home and keep working.
So if I want a job, what tips or advice would you give someone interviewing?
Okay. The first thing is you have to decide what it is that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been in your career for a while and we have opportunities from HR to communication to project management, program management, we have data scientists, we have data analysts, we have security people. There's developers, IT people. If you have a skill set, you go to the company website and cognosante.com and let's see it and get through the screening process. But in most positions, if you have a bachelor's degree,
mm-hmm.
you show the initiative, Cognosante will take a chance on you.
Any type of bachelor's degree?
Any type of bachelor's degree. I have working for me. I have an attorney that I was able to recruit to come to work for me. I have engineers that work for me in the security realm. Because what a lot of people don't understand is that security is information security and privacy is the future. If you stop and you think about it, everything that you have has a computer in it. Your car has a computer. Everybody has Alexis at home. You have your doorbell where you have a camera. Everything that you use, you go to the grocery store. Everything has a computer in it, your phones.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in information, privacy, and security, you're the future because we're only using more computers, not less. Mm-hmm. And if you're in the business of securing that data that's on those devices, you have a future, and it's changing every day.
Right.
So you grow with it, and you become a resource that every company in America needs, no matter who they are. If they have a cash register in there, an electronic cash register and card reader, they need security. So that's just the future. That's why I say that there's a lot of opportunity here.
Right. Cognosante, where does that name come from?
It's a Greek name and it means healthcare because we started as a company that we wanted to change healthcare.
Right.
We wanted to make it easier for you to be able to get the care you need, and we've done a lot in that area. Where if you go from one doctor to another, you used to have to go pick up your file, take your file to this doctor take this file there, or if you were in the hospital. The programs that we have written and the things that we have done, it's seamless.
Mm-hmm.
Your doctor could be standing at your bedside and look at your file that's in your doctor's office, or in a secure manner, or it could bring all of your doctor's information together in one place where he's not having to go from one doctor to the next doctor. All of your records come together so that he could see you as a whole patient, not just an individual seeing for that one thing that he's seeing you for. A lot of that behind the scene work, we've done that.
Right. So if I work from home, say I got the job and I was working from home, who would I give my work to, or who would I apply to? Not apply, but
report up to.
Yes.
It all depends on what area you're in. If you're working on a project, you report up to a project manager. My security team report up to me. So everything that's around security for any project or anything that we're doing, they ultimately report up to me. I have a couple of layers between me and the people that are actually doing the work. Yeah. But it just depends on where you are and what tower you're working in as to who you will report to.
Well, how can someone get into the information security and privacy?
Okay. There's multiple ways to do it. As I said before, and with this answer, it's going to be a long answer because I want to talk about some of the things that I'm doing as an executive to open the industry, because I used to go to, and I'm going to get to the answer, but I used to go to conferences, and I could go to a conference if there's 30,000 people there.
Mm-hmm.
And I might see 200 or 300 minorities in the room. And I would wonder, why aren't we going into this industry? This industry pays well. So some of the things that I'm doing, and I'm going to get to how you get into it, is I go out and I look for people that have the skills that I'm looking for, but may not know security. And I'm hiring them. And if I hire, last project, there were 13 people we had to hire. I hired 5 people at a junior level who didn't know security. The rest of the staff are senior, so that they could be mentors for the 5 junior. All of the junior people were minorities, so that they could get into security. And not one of the 5 did I pay less than $105,000. And they didn't know security.
Wow.
What that does is it gets them, that helped them get in the door. Everybody's not doing things of that nature, but that's what I'm doing to help get people started in security.
Right.
The key is to learn something about computers.
Mm-hmm.
Start doing your research and reading, because it's not for everyone. But if you find an interest in it, there's different certifications and classes that you can take. And once you do that, then you apply for a position. You may end up with if you go into, I started auditing in an audit support role, where I worked in the team that did auditing of IT. But being in that role, I had to learn the rules and the regulations in order to secure the data. And as I learned how to do that, I moved from an audit support role to an audit role, and then into security.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other paths. That was a path I took. You can go, there's cybersecurity classes you could take in college.
Mm-hmm.
That's the path you want. But then you won't get you have to still do the work to get your certifications. If you look on the wall, I have all these certifications, but with it, it's the years that you work that help you to get certifications. There's a couple that I've been doing this for 17 years now. And there's a couple that I need almost 20 years worth of experience in order to get that certification, because that's the top of the pyramid for security. So getting a bachelor's degree, start studying security, take some security classes. I advise anyone who's going to school to take 1 or 2 cybersecurity classes to see if that's something that they will want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at what the average salary is for any degree program, you're talking $65,000, $70,000, $75,000 a year coming out of college.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the shortage in security, you're looking at over 6 figures as a new graduate from college.
Right.
So that I advise anyone that want to do it to take some security classes while they're in school.
So if I hadn't gone to college and I'm just coming off the streets, just all willy-nilly,
mm-hmm.
I still would have to have some type of security class, or could I just start at the bottom, like data analysis? That's
yes.
the part.
You can, if you start as a data analyst and start working your way up, it will take you longer.
Right.
But you can get there because you will build the experience necessary. In 8-10 years, you may be able to move into an entry level, a junior level security role. But you can do it if you didn't go to school and you were a data analyst or you work with computers. We have people that there's a guy, he's a manager on my team, doesn't have a college degree. Started off working at the IT help desk,
mm-hmm.
but he's done that for over 10 years. And he's just grown into the role. So you can do it.
Well, you just take some courses along the way.
That's correct. And got some certifications along the way.
Right, along the way. Yes. Cool. So anybody can do this.
Anyone could do it. It's just you have to keep your background clear because that's key.
That question was coming up pretty soon now. But I have a clean background of what? So I do have to have a clean background.
Yes. I've been doing this. Well, the federal requirement now is that you have not had any interaction with law enforcement in 7 to 10 years. You can pretty much it's like getting a clearance for the government, because there are different levels. You have public trust, then you T4, T5 level security, then you move into the secret and the top secret, but you go through the same process. And the key to being able to get through the process is that you have to be honest. I've made mistakes in my life, but and they ask about traffic tickets. And yes, and you have to remember how many traffic tickets you had and how you adjudicated that traffic ticket. But if you're honest about it,
right,
even if you've gotten in trouble,
yeah,
and you explain it, they have a higher level of trust for you in passing the background than if you try to. If you lied or you didn't disclose it. If they have to find it,
right.
They have to find it, then there's an issue. But
so if I had a DWI, I might as well go the other way.
Well, not necessarily. How long ago was the DWI? Was it a DWI over 10 years ago? What were the circumstances? Were you 18, 20 years old, 21 years old when you got the DWI, and now you're 35 or 40? It makes it that all those things are taken into consideration, because young people make mistakes, but you could still pass a background check.
Yeah.
If you made that mistake, you're honest about it, and it's been over a period of time that you wasn't habitual in making those mistakes. Right. Yes.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think I heard you say position that you're in right now, it was like you've been there like 8 years, but all of it, you've been in there 17 years before you became in there or whatever. So how long does it take to become a professional in security or in your position?
To my position, for my position, 15, 20 years.
Okay.
I've only been promoted to this position February of this year. So that takes a while, but you can become a professional in 5 to 8 years.
Okay.
And then you can get certifications. Your CISSP, which says that you're a certified information security professional with 5 years experience, and get that certification, and that shows that you're a professional.
Tell us a little bit about the security professional growth.
Oh, well, there's different paths that you could take in security. As I stated before, I have security people that do information security, people that do privacy. I have facility security people that manage the secure facilities. And then you have your top secret security people. That's on one side of the house. And then you have another side that you can be in the data centers. It's I call it, you have the people that turn the knobs, and then you have the brains behind it. Your information security people are the brains behind it. And then you have people that work in data centers who are setting configurations or setting the security settings that the information security people have told them that they need to put in place. And that's a different side of security. So you have 5 or 6 different paths within the security profession. I chose to do this path because the people that do the data center, they end up working nights and weekends a lot more than I do.
That ain't about you, right? It's not about you, right?
That's it.
You've already done that. Right?
I've done that. Don't want to do it again.
All right. Let me talk to my audience right now, because I kind of left them behind a little bit. Guys, we're on here talking to Harrison Conner. He's talking to us about security and employment in security. I can't say the name of it. Cognosante. Is that the name of it?
Cognosante.
Okay, so Cognosante is a company, and it's owned and operated by a lady owns it, and they're looking for, like the military said, a few young people, a few people. And I ain't say young, and I'm gonna apply for this job. So a few people. So are we, as far as looking for people, are we looking for anyone, or just minorities, or how
we're an equal opportunity employer. Everyone is welcome to apply. We make sure that there's underserved communities in hiring in corporate America. They generally would not look at HBCUs. She put an initiative in place that, along with our executive vice president of HR, put a plan together that we partner with. This year, I think there's 3 or 4 HBCUs that we're partnering with, that we bring their students in as interns, and in turn hire some of those interns for full-time positions. So we're making an effort to get more people of minority in the company, but we hire everyone.
Okay, so I have a question that's pointed out here. So let's see what she's saying. Latoya says, sorry, she's just logging on. Is this private security?
Not. When you say private security, are you referring to body security or physical security? We're talking about information security and privacy. We do have we do facility security, but not private security in securing people.
Did he answer your question, Latoya? Oh, he should say yes, sir. Okay. Okay, so with that being said, what are some of the things that you are doing to help get more information? Get more minorities in security?
That was a program that I told you I instituted. I was promoted into this position in February. In March, I was implementing a program where we're hiring younger minorities to work in junior security roles. And what that means is you don't have to have experience in information and security or privacy. We bring you on board. Our senior people mentor with you and train you. You go through, we do extensive training Monday through Thursday. We're training you, teaching you, putting you in front of the regulations, having you write the security documentation, because you have to write all of your security plans and all of your disaster recovery plans and your privacy impact assessments. You have to write all of those documents. So we're training people to do that. And then on Friday, they have their one-on-one with their immediate supervisor for them to tell them what they've learned, so that we could identify where there's gaps, and then we go back and retrain in those areas. But I'm making a conscious effort to make my organization look a lot like what America looks like. It should not all be one group or race of people in security. It should be all of us. And because that's where the opportunity is. You can want to progress or make change, but we all know that it takes dollars. Yeah. And for us to get people into positions, and all of us can't play football, all of us can't play basketball, all of us can't. These are the stereotypes that corporate America has. So we have to break that ceiling and bring people in and exhibit that we can do the work. Right. And I'm bringing young people in, showing they could do the work, so that it will open the door for people behind. I'm at the point in my career, I'm at a higher pinnacle than I thought I would get to, being a young, poor Black man from Beaumont, Texas. I'm at a higher pinnacle.
It's because you're from Beaumont don't mean you poor.
Well, I grew up with 6 brothers and sisters. Okay. But what the point I'm making is that I'm higher pinnacle than I thought I would get. So I'm reaching back and pulling young minorities in, and they have to do the same. But my program is designed to bring young men in, young women in, have them work in security, and progress up so that we could keep bringing more and more in. So
hold that thought, because Patora, hey Patora, how are you doing today? Thanks for joining us. Patora says, are they only looking for young people?
No, we will hire anyone. We do not discriminate against age.
Thank you, Patora. I appreciate that. So it's anybody, right?
Anybody. We will train anybody. If you have I tell people all the time, you don't realize the skill set you have and how transferable what you do is to other professions. It's just how you present yourself and your desire to learn. Right. If you have the desire to learn, then there's an open opportunity.
Okay, so you guys could continue asking questions while you asking. I'm gonna go ahead and finish, talking to Mr. Coney. Tell me some of the areas where there are opportunities in security besides.
Oh,
I know I think we said there was data or something, whatever.
There's over 900,000 worldwide security positions that cannot be filled now.
They cannot?
that you cannot find enough people to fill those positions.
Really?
Yes. If
I think we're going to talk to 900 people right now. So keep talking because they're coming on to apply for it. Go
ahead. No, there's not 900,000 positions. If you go to LinkedIn and just do a search on cybersecurity or information security or privacy, you'll see how many positions come up. If you go to Monster or Career Builder, every cut that goes back to the conversation I was having earlier. As companies grow their IT, it creates security positions, and everything is moving toward computers. So every company in America needs security people. It's just what level of security person do they need?
So Victoria asks another question. She wants to know, what is the beginning pay scale for a data analyst?
Okay, a data analyst, when I talked about the 100,000 for a security person, a data analyst position is going to start off about 55, 60,000. But that's good. That's a good pay rate.
Yeah, that's a good pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But without skills.
That's not my swim lane.
Okay.
But I have seen positions post for data analysts.
And we've already talked. She said it sounds good. We've already spoke on your background. You have to have a clean background. You can't have anything on your record. You have to
be able to pass a background check. And I'm at the level that I have to be strategic, because they ask for people that you've known for 10 years, and they send the FBI to knock on their door to ask about you. They go to your neighbors and ask about
you. Serious?
Yes. I just finished.
Is that tight?
Well, when you get to this level, yes.
Oh, when you okay. I see. Not at the beginning stage.
Oh, no, they'll pick up a phone and place a phone call or two. But yeah, I work from home, and I just went through an additional background check for Social Security Administration, and we have a contract with them, and I had to be cleared. And I saw them go to my neighbors, knock on the door to ask questions, and I'm just sitting here going, okay.
Victoria said she used to work for the federal government, and then she said she should be able to pass the background. So it look like you got somebody interested right now. Victoria, good Victoria, go for that.
Victoria, go look at cognosante.com and see what's out there that you might be interested in.
Yeah. And we need to put that on the web, on the page. Put it on the banner. Okay. Don't do that. Let's go ahead and look at that, and then we'll be okay. Lord.
Well, because I can't represent the company in our interview. I represent security, my profession, and can talk about the company. But you're more than welcome to go look at Cognosante, COGNOSANTE.com.
She just asked for it. Can you spell it one more time?
COGNOSANTE.
Cognosante.com. Great job. Thank you. Terry Lewis wants to know. Let me see if I can get Terry up here and see what she's saying. I don't even know. Are there both full-time and part-time positions? And do you need a strong math background?
It depends. If you want to be a data analyst, or
go ahead.
If you want to be a data analyst or work in one of those areas, yes. If you work in security, it doesn't need a strong math background, but it shows that you have the ability to learn and be able to function in that role. We do have, most positions are full-time. I was telling Deborah earlier that we have a new project that it's rolling out now, where we're going to be hiring enroller assisters across the country. I think there's 7 states that we're starting with, rolling people off of Medicare onto Obamacare after the pandemic. And those positions will be part-time positions, but most of the positions with the company are full-time positions.
So what do you have to do to get into that position?
That's a lot easier. I have not seen I've seen the requirements for the position. You don't have to pass the background check for that position because you're not going to be working with IT. Mm-hmm. You'll be assisting people. You'll have a computer and they'll be putting their information. You're not going to be handling their information. You just have to have computer skills to be able to show them how to get to the website, show them how to fill out the information. And that's basically it. You're just helping people who don't have the skill set necessary to go to a website and fill out the necessary forms.
IT must be very tight-knit because I remember years ago, I had a friend who worked for IT and I used to ask him, what does IT stand for? You think she told me? She wouldn't even tell me.
It's information technology.
I know, but she wouldn't tell me. And I'm like, you work for somebody, you can't tell us.
There's parts of my job that I can't talk about, though.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. I understand. Just like you saw humming just now. It's all good, though. It's all good. I got the message. So what about the benefits?
When I tell you Cognosante is a great place to work, the company I work for is a great place to work, I really mean that. And when I say pet insurance, I didn't even realize that there were companies out there that provide pet insurance. My company provides pet insurance.
You said pet insurance?
PET. My dog has insurance.
What? I'm coming. I'm coming.
So the
those on there. Deborah Jones right here. Yep.
Yeah. The benefits are great.
Wow.
Yeah.
So why no? I'm just not understanding why no one has even heard about it.
Heard about what? Cognosante? Because we do a lot of government work. If you're not there's people out there that know about Tom Daschle, former, he's on our board of directors. Bill Friss is on our board of directors. People know about Cognosante. It's just that we don't touch people in the same way. We touch companies. Right. We write programs. We manage programs. We provide professional services. We work with the federal government, the state government. Everything that we do for them touch people, but you wouldn't look up Cognosante to come do something for you.
Right.
So if you don't work for us or you don't know someone that worked for us, yeah.
So. And it's not like if you work for Cognosante, it's not like a shift program like you're working at Mobile or somewhere like that.
That's correct.
Straight days, so many hours, right? How you?
We have planned. We have flex work.
Okay.
Where if I have an appointment, I just get up and go to my appointment. I may work until 6 o'clock that evening.
That ain't happening.
Or last week, if I work 50 hours, I'm taking off the next Friday.
What? Oh, you cannot work overtime or something like that? Is that what you said?
You don't get paid for overtime. It's flex time. You're salaried. Most of the people that work for us are salaried employees.
Salary. Okay.
So we give flex time. If you just have to make sure all your work is done. I had an employee. I was looking at I was wondering how he was taking as much vacation. I take a lot of vacation, but he was taking a lot of vacation, but it was because he would work. If he wanted to take off 3 days next week or have a long weekend, the week before he would just work 50 hours, and then he'll take off Thursday and Friday to be, as long as his work was done. That when I say it's a great place to work, I really mean it, because all you have to do is do your work. If you have something to do, you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go to your office, do your work, and get off at noon. And that's just the reality of it.
And you said you could work from home.
Everyone at the company works from home right now.
Oh, okay.
I think we might have brought back one call center, and that was a call center, a clean desk center for HUD or something, where you have to be in the office, but everyone else was working from home.
So, James, answer this question. If I'm working at home, how can I be trained?
Everything you could be trained on is on the computer. What's the difference of being at home and being in the office? You just have to be disciplined enough to do what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
And if you have that discipline, then you can work from home. It's just that simple. And I don't have to stand over your shoulder to know if you're doing your work.
Management, right?
Yeah, your throughput is going to show whether you're working.
Mm-hmm.
And most people that we have working from home, we actually get more productivity from them than when we had people that were working in the office.
Do we have to work holidays or something like
that? I think that there may have been one or two. We were writing a proposal or something that I worked a holiday, but you have the federal holidays off.
Cool. Y'all hear that now? Okay. So what about the pace of work? How do we pace our work, and how would you describe it?
It depends on where you are in the project. We won a $500 million contract, and when we won that contract, the people that's starting up that project, it's head down 12-hour days. But after, we're still in the early stages of it. But when you get into what I call care and feeding or operations, you're working 6 to 8 hour days. If there's a deliverable, you may end up working long hours, but there's ebbs and flows. You just have to, when there's not a lot of work, you have a lot of free time to do whatever it is you want to do. But then when there's a lot of work, we just expect you to do what's necessary to get it done.
Yeah. And that's like any job.
Yeah.
So I know we're doing all this work. I know we're trying to meet deadlines. I know Cognosante is up here now, the way, you explain it to us. So what is the most stressful part about working in this profession?
The most stressful job working in this, the thing that keeps me up at night, that's if someone, data infiltration or somebody hacks or breaches the environment. That's the thing that scares me or stresses me out the most. If I know that there's a vulnerability that's taken us time to remediate, until it's remediated, I'm worried. And that's the stressful part of my job.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, implementing the way we're supposed to be implementing, I don't find there's not a lot of stress for me.
I know you said that they look at people they look at people if they have education, bachelor's degree. And if they don't have it, they still look at it. But the main thing, if you have a degree. So what about the educational part of the job itself? I know you mentioned something about some type of computer stuff that you had to look at and stuff like that.
There's training that you can do for the job. If you do not have a bachelor's degree, it's good to have worked in IT at some level if you want to get into security.
Security law.
It's good to understand the privacy laws and requirements if you don't have a degree. If you have a degree, and what the degree is telling them is that you're teachable.
Mm-hmm.
That's mostly what the degree is for, because I have people that have education degrees that are working for me. I have people with law degrees working for me. They're teachable. It's nothing to do with security. The lawyer may be a little bit with privacy, but it says that we can teach you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that's for. But if you don't have it and you want to come in, you have to show that you self-learned.
Mm-hmm.
What jobs have you had? What have you done to get you to a position to take on one of these positions? Is that the career path you want? You could start off as a help desk technician and end up in security. But you have to strategically find a mentor,
mm-hmm.
to help guide you to the right positions within organizations to get you into security.
So is there a test that you have to take or anything like that?
When you start getting certified, yes. All those on the wall, I had to take a test and pass those tests to be certified.
Right.
So yes, there are certification tests that you have to take to become a professional.
Become a professional.
Yes.
So if I'm still at the data level, I don't have to test, right?
Not unless you could be certified in data analytics, because there's different layers. There's different layers of data. Yes.
Right. Yeah. That's good to know. Good to know. So what can you tell us about security that we haven't already covered?
Oh.
I know this is your baby right here. This is your baby. You can talk about this all day.
we could sit here and we're doing a 2-hour show tonight.
You have like 15 more minutes, so I just need to go ahead and put this on through.
Well, I want to step through security and all the different facets and jobs that you could have within security. So let's talk about a junior level security person that doesn't have any experience in security or privacy.
Okay.
If you show the aptitude to be able to come in and we train you,
mm-hmm.
it's a lot of reading,
mm-hmm.
because if you're on a federal project, it's what's called NIST 853. That's the federal requirement for securing an IT environment.
Mm-hmm.
There's almost 4,000 security control. It's 26 security families, almost 4,000 security controls and supplements to those controls.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a lot of reading to do to understand it. An example is, if you look at access control, access control for a security person, that's a simple term. But what access control is, the passwords that you have to use to log into something. Behind the scenes, there's a whole lot of stuff that's going on to secure it. And the federal government tells you that it has to be at least 16 characters long. You have to have different characters within it. But there's a lot that takes place behind the scene. And for every container or where information resides, that password has to be able to get through to get to it. When you go to your bank, that access password is encrypted, and then they talk about your access control having to be encrypted at FIPS 140-2. That's your encrypted hashtag, and you have to learn all of that. So when you start as a junior person, you're doing a lot of reading. If you hadn't been exposed, you're doing a lot of reading to understand all of those security controls. And then it depends on whether you're going to take the privacy route or whether you're taking the security route where you fall. Privacy to me is a lot more detailed than security is. If you take that, those are two different routes you could take with it, all within the security framework. That's on the IT side of the house. Mm-hmm. But with security, even at this junior level, we hadn't got to the moderate or senior level yet. Then you have facility security. Mm-hmm. And that's your biometrics, that's your cameras, that's your alarms, that's your fire suppression systems, that's your all of that intrusion detection, all of that for your facilities. Then you can move to the fun part of the job where you're doing the top secret work and you get to manage and handle all of that data and having to be at another level of security. You can do all of that as a junior level security person learning.
Right.
But once you get past that, then you get to the moderate level security, and that's where you can audit mm-hmm. that security. You're looking at what the requirement is, and you're able to go look at a system and determine if it's secured the way it should be secured and following the requirements. And then you're able to look at audit logs, and you could do the forensics. If you get hacked, you could do the forensics to find where you were hacked, or if you had a data spillage, you're able to do the work necessary to get to where you understand how you lost the data. You get to the senior level, you're managing all of those people, but you have to understand the other levels.
Right.
Then you get to my level where you have to write policy. You're writing the policy on what is required in order for you to secure the environment. Thus say the company, and then some, they have to go out and write procedures in order to meet what the policy that you've written says. And you're writing that policy based on your knowledge of what the requirements are. Mm-hmm. You're keeping your pulse on the ground to hear what the latest issues are or the latest breaches are. And if you could actually go out and Google it and look at some of the breaches that cost companies tens of millions of dollars. So you're paying attention to those so that you could write policy to ensure that none of that happens. So all of that falls into the security realm. I think that security is where, if you have young kids that are in school, I did a talk at Obama Academy here in Dallas, and with those parents are guiding their children into IT and to security. Mm-hmm. Middle school students that are challenging me on security in the way that a junior level security person would challenge you, and they're in elementary school, but their parents realize that security is the future. Mm-hmm. If you ever worry about your job being phased out or your job being shipped overseas or your job leaving, think about it like this. Everything that happens has to have security. As I was telling Deborah earlier, every car that's manufactured, there's a level of security and privacy around that. You don't want people to know where your GPS took you or where your car has been. Mm-hmm. So you have to have a security person that's actually securing that data so that it's not no one can hack your car to get to that data. If you go to the grocery store, the scanner that you put your card in, it gathers all kinds of it. People don't realize how much information the grocery store have about you.
Yeah.
They know everything that the food that you buy, any of the personal items you buy, and they tie it to you with your credit card.
Mm-hmm.
The security people are the people that are protecting that data. So I can't go up into the grocery store and get your information and know what you had for dinner last night.
Right.
Or how much you're spending. Banking institutions, financial institutions, every touch point in your life,
right,
there's a security person there. And those security people are paid a whole lot of money. So why not guide our kids into that area? When I graduated when I got out of the military, didn't have the skill set, but I came out of the military making less than I pay in taxes. Now, why don't we want people to forego that and go into security or learn security or go get the skill set necessary for them to, it's all about us building generational wealth within our communities.
Right.
And security will do that for them. Information security and privacy will do that for them. Am I passionate enough about security for you?
You knowledgeable about it. Knowledgeable about it, and which is good, because we really don't realize how much the security is going around. I mean, when we put our cards in the ATM machine, right there, it's just telling us right there, somebody's looking at us, and somebody's got our information.
All that data goes into that ATM machine.
Data goes right there in the ATM machine.
And somebody has to secure that data so it's just everybody doesn't have your information.
Right. Let me see what Terry said before we go off. She said kids these days are so tech savvy that this would be a great career path for them. Great podcast. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Daryl says, great information. Thanks, Daryl. Appreciate you. So I really, really appreciate you tonight, James, because a lot of people didn't know. When you first told me about your job and what you do, I was like, huh? What? So, but now that you brought everything out and how everything works together and how we are, everything we do, security is around us. And we never did realize it. But not, now he's looking for a few great people to work for the company. And so all you need to do is go on Cognizant IT. That's it, right?
Cognosante.com.
Cognosante.com. Y'all know I can mess up a name. Cognosante.com. Spell it for me one more time.
COGNOSANTE.com.
So you can get data career, you can go to IT tech, and you go anywhere up the ladder. Just go there, work, and because he's looking for a few great people. So let's go ahead and do what we need to do. There's a lot of people that are out of work right now. And I know that you guys need work. I know Victoria been asking a lot of questions tonight, so that might be one person. So give her that job. That's my girl right there.
I can't commit to that, Deborah.
Okay, I tried.
You can apply it if you get through the gatekeeper.
I tried. I want to thank you guys for coming on and supporting us tonight. Cheryl, Terry, Daryl, Pretoria. Let me go down the list because I know I don't want to miss anyone. That's why I like saying it. Latoya. Let's see, Maxine, Terry, and I want to thank you. And a lot of people who are on the phone that did not come over to the comment page. I want to thank you guys tonight for coming in. Rodney, Roderick, and everybody. So thank you, Harrison, James, Connie, for coming on tonight, and we appreciate you. He's there's some things I want to say. I can't say it, but I do want to thank you. Appreciate you for the great information you gave tonight on the job opportunity and what you're looking for. And, let's do this, y'all. Let's do this.
Again, it's the career. If you have kids or if you're a young adult, this is the career path.
Career for you.
Information security and project management. Those are the career paths for our young people today, because every industry in America need those skill sets.
Right. Every industry, like you said. You're right. Appreciate you for accepting the invitation to Blue Table Talk, James. And if there's anything that I can do to help you out with anything, thank you, Cassandra. Thank you, Laura. Just let me know. I'm always here. You got my number. You know how to get in touch with me, and I appreciate you.
All right. Well, thank you for having me, and everyone, thank you for listening to me ramble about security.
Yes, and like I said, that security is all around us, y'all, all around us, and we don't even realize it. So get those jobs. I'm gonna apply tomorrow.
I'll be looking for it. Okay. Thank you very much.
Love you. Smooches. Bye.
All right. Thank you.